Thank you. And, Vicki, I appreciate what you've done putting this all together. It is a sad day. Some may try to brand us hateful. This is not a hateful group. This is a group that has love and compassion for our country. And when you know that the president, now we know that he went to a debate with Rick Warren, a very informal one, and he abandoned what he had been saying previously about homosexual marriage and support for it, and said what he knew he needed to say in order to get elected. And now, after he has won a second term, and actually before he won the second term after these years, he comes out and says something different. We have an attorney general who has come before our Judiciary Committee and lied. Either lied to us or lied to the court. And now we have a decision today that includes, it has to include for their decision to stand, a lie. At page 22 of the Windsor decision, these 5 new holy quintets say, the principal purpose is to impose inequality, not for other reasons like governmental efficiency. They know that's a lie. They are very smart individuals. They know that's a lie. They know that was not the principal purpose. It was the very purpose you've heard my friends up here cite. I read the Windsor decision first before I read the Prop 8 decision. I was very disappointed with the intellectual dishonesty, but I knew for the court to be consistent, since they said that members of Congress basically would have a standing to defend a law that they passed, which gave the Supreme Court the authority to strike it down, well, at least on the Prop 8 case, they would have to say those who pushed through this referendum, the people that pushed it through and passed a referendum, the voters, they would have to have standing in order for the court to be intellectually honest and consistent. And they would have to say they had standing, and they would have to cite all these same provisions they did in Windsor that says the state has total authority to decide what marriage is in that state, in essence. But then you do the Prop 8 decision and you find they were intellectually dishonest and intellectually very inconsistent, because they then struck down the party as having standing that actually passed the referendum. So dishonesty, inconsistency, and for them, I mean, I don't know what kind of cloistered walls this court has been behind for them to make the statement at the bottom of page 13. How, for others, however, came the beginnings of a new perspective, a new insight, because they just said marriage between a man and a woman no doubt had been thought of by people as essential to the very definition of that term and to its role and function throughout the history of civilization. But apparently they've been very cloistered. They were not aware that the most wise man in history, Solomon, said there's nothing new under the sun, and this isn't new, and it's been tried over and over, and it's usually tried at the end of a great civilization. So just in closing, I would remind you of the document that allowed the United States to claim its independence and be free as recognized by England, the Treaty of Paris, 1783. And if you will look at that document, you will see big, bold letters at the very top. Because put yourself in the place of the Americans. What would you make Britain swear under that they would be so afraid to go back on their word? What would you make them swear under that document that required England to recognize our independence? Well, what our founders came up with were these words: in the name of the most holy and undivided Trinity. That's why it started that way, and they did not believe that even the adversaries in war would have the nerve to go against that. What we now have today is a holy quintet who goes against the laws of nature and nature's God, and that's very unfortunate.